Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is Walking Dead Cast episode 44.
Lucky 44.
I want to say thanks to Sarah Wayne Gallies for coming on last time.
She made the best zombie sound. You have it?
That's pretty good.
It's really cute,
She was
actually.
I thought she was a little reserved throughout the interview, maybe.
She let me
And then as
do
soon as we said that,
Thank you.
that is good. Very good. On today's show, Deadcast Top 5, our top 5 highlights of season 2, episode 2, Bloodletting. This runs Rolling Grunts, news about the show, some comic talk, a little bit of next week on The Walking Dead, and some contest info.
It was the creepiest looking zombie. I voted.
My son. By the way, I was going to say this for the end, but there's been more activity on our Facebook page lately, which I'm really happy about.
Me too.
And people post some cool things on there. And Karen's been on lately.
I have. It's weird because I've never been on Facebook
Yeah,
before.
Karen hates Facebook.
I always thought it was Word of the Devil, and now I'm a convert, and but I spend all my time on the Walking Dead Facebook page. So fun.
And yeah, so come on there with us, you guys. I think it's facebook.com/deadcast.
And one of our listeners posted a great link on their cat actually did it for the zombie booth, which is an iPad or iPhone app, and it's great on ear actually. And we
Zombify yourself. It's one of the better ones I've seen.
I zombified one of my wedding pictures, and Jason zombified his
My kid,
adorable
which my
child.
wife is not happy about. But it looks great.
Which is funny because it really is only a face on the kid love.
Okay, let's get into our Deadcast Top 5.
Do it.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
First of all, I just wanted to mention, we don't do recaps like the other podcasts, a lot of the TV podcasts actually. They just go through and say exactly what happened in the episode, and I don't get why.
Yeah, because if you're listening, you probably watched
Yeah,
it.
you're a huge fan. Why? I mean, I really want to know if some of you guys listen to other podcasts.
Maybe their listeners have really, really bad short memories.
Why do you do that? Okay. Anyway, so we do top 5 highlights, and that can be scenes we liked, characters we liked, any aspects of the show. It could even be a negative thing. Although Karen probably won't do that because you're a very positive person.
Except last week.
You did a negative one last time?
I loved it last time. Remember we loved it, and then I also nitpicked.
Oh, yeah.
And so this time I'm going to be less nitpicky.
Is that because you just don't need to nitpick or less than nitpick?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I
You
don't
like it?
want to be
What do you think in
yeah.
general?
So I got a new rating system for myself on a scale of 1 to 5 brains. 5 being best.
Not puppy dogs?
Not puppy dog brains. I give it a solid 4 brains.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, how about you?
I'd say 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
I really
it
liked
was.
it. Yeah, I was happy that because I thought last week, I was hoping it wasn't a fluke, good episode, and I thought this one was really good. It was, a little more character centered a lot of the time. That's good. I like when they switch up the pacing a little bit.
Yeah.
It can't be all action all the time.
Yeah, I completely agree. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my number 5, most favorite thing, and my number 5 is zombies in the high school. It's so nice. You pretty much know that every episode, just about every episode, you're going to see one good zombie swarm, and this was that scene. So it was nice to see the swarm, although, well, here I go nitpicking. They might have taken a little better care for how they were going to plan their exit strategy out of the little medical trailer, and they went in the medical trailer, and they threw the flares to get in the medical trailer, and then as they were about to leave, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, well, we'll just run right smack down into the zombie.
So you said you're not going to nitpick this time?
I said, and then I took it all back. This is ago. But I loved it. I thought it was great. Really, it was one of those tense scenes, and it was fun to watch them escape, and then they got into high school.
Yeah.
4 now.
Yes. Yeah. Cliffhanger ending.
Totally.
Cool. My number 5 is New Blood, which is basically that it's good to get some new characters into the mix. Because we've kind of been living with our cast for a while now.
Right.
And so I think Herschel's kind of
Plan.
an interesting guy. Oh yeah, his whole plan. Yeah. I like that he seems hopeful and thinks that there could even be a cure. Which, if you read the comic, you know where that's headed. I think Maggie's gorgeous, and I like how Glenn seemed kind of in awe of her when she came riding along on her horse and batted that zombie in the head. And then later on, when in that same scene, Daryl's kind of skeptical, like we don't even know this woman or whatever, and Glenn's just sitting there going, oh, don't know what she says. And I think that so far it seems like they're all kind of nice, which was a little undramatic.
Yeah.
But we know that with the show there'll be conflict, so that'll be coming up.
There's some conflict ahead for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, since we're talking about Herschel, can I ask you, what did you think Herschel meant by his statement? When they were out on the porch and they're looking out over the farm, and Rick says, oh, it's kind of nice. And he says, nature, and Herschel says, they're going to come up with a cure. This is just nature correcting herself, restoring some balance. What did he mean by that?
I think it just means like anytime there's a plague or it's just nature's way of
reducing our population randomly?
Well, people talk about how there's a balance in nature, right? And that there's what do you call it? In ecology, there's a balance. So if you kill off one species or whatever, it throws off the balance. So sometimes people say when there's overpopulation of a species, something comes along to take care of it, like a natural disaster or some kind of infection. Yeah, it's not always humans, but this idea that nature will take care of that.
This is just correcting overpopulation.
Yeah, and I think that sounds kind of dark, but he meant it, I think, in a positive way because it means that it doesn't mean necessarily wiping out a species. It just means cutting it down severely. So 1%.
Chomping it down severely. Okay, got it. So my number 4 is I liked this was a really good episode for Daryl, and one of the things I liked was when they're trying to get the medicine for T-Dog. T-Dog's got blood infection. They're trying to find meds. Who has the meds? Daryl has the meds. He finds it in Merle's stash in the motorcycle, and I like Daryl's explanation. Merle's got clap on occasion. Yep, that would be why you want the expensive antibiotics, not the generic crap.
And also in that bag was some meth, and it was blue. Which
No, was it?
people who don't like Breaking Bad, but that's a total shout out to Breaking Bad. That show features blue meth prominently.
Nice.
And some people who wrote in have pointed that out, including Gracie Lou.
Nice catch.
My number 4 was the flashback scene at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm liking the flashbacks. This one and the Shane one,
I do.
I did a lot of writing in college, and I think I got the idea during that time that flashbacks were cheap or something. I just remember it was kind of looked down upon if you did flashbacks.
It's one of the best things about Lost.
Exactly. And I think maybe Lost, I remember when we first started seeing flashbacks in Lost, I was like, oh, cheap storytelling device, but they did it so well.
Yeah.
That now I think it's actually affected other TV, like they're more willing to do flashbacks now because of Lost, maybe.
You know what, we're going to see a lot more, or at least we're going to see more of it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'm liking it. I think it's cool to see what the characters look like and act like before all this happened,
Wasn't it refreshing to get a couple of moments of normal?
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Lori in a dress.
But yeah,
Look at her.
looking nice.
She's all cleaned up. And look, that's what the world looks like before the coming apocalypse. It was pretty nice to have a breath of fresh air.
I was wondering what the point of that scene was. It shows that Shane takes responsibility for Rick being shot early on because he apologized to Lori for that, so it was his fault. And it shows a little bit about Lori's character because she's talking to her friend about her how it's actually her fault and she just wants Rick to call her on her basically.
Yeah.
If I'm being a bit honest, tell me.
Right.
But I think the main thing is it's like a symmetry.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're showing their reaction to Rick being shot.
Carl's reaction to Rick being shot.
Carl and Lori, and then later they show Lori and Rick's reaction to Carl
Carl
being
being shot.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was kind of
That's
cool. Actually, that was my number 3.
Yeah, well, your number 5 was my number 1. So.
Why you progressed to your number 3?
Oh, okay, you don't have anything more you want to say?
No, really, that was all I
Okay,
wanted to say. I really liked it.
my number 3 was just Chandler Riggs.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Yeah,
He's good.
he is, and even though he was pretty much prone and still, and they made him pale.
He's so still. But, I mean, the little acting that he did was in the beginning when he found out that Rick was shot. He was kind of nodding quickly to his mom and looked at something a little kid might do if she was saying it's okay or whatever.
Yeah.
And then later when he was on the table and Herschel was pulling the bullet fragment out of him, he seemed really convincing.
Writhing pain.
Yeah, and I found out later they were actually stabbing him with a needle on the butt. No, I don't know what they did to make him do that, but
He's a method boy. Look at him getting into his own place.
we got to get him back on and ask him about it.
Yeah.
We had him on before we saw any of this, really saw any of this amazing acting.
And he had it all, yeah. Good little actor. My number 2 is I liked Shane's pep talk in the living room to Rick. And I thought it was really touching. And I guess I called it out, and it really stood out because Shane hasn't been presented in a real positive light before. He's always been kind of presented in a negative light the entire time. And this was Shane really stepping up and helping Rick and being a good guy for Rick. And I really like that. It made me really like him. And I'm sort of now I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's why they're keeping him on. He was really helping. And then he goes, okay, I'm going to high school.
They always do back and forth with him. You know?
I don't think they've done much positive stuff with him. I haven't seen him do
We've had
much.
several conversations about how they do something to make him seem okay, and you come around to his side, and then he does something messed up, and then you hate him. So
Yeah.
that's been the conversation around him so far. Like other characters like Merle are just playing jerks, but Shane,
Right.
I think this is like the most purely positive scene
Yeah,
we've seen
he's
so
doing
far.
something really selfless.
Yeah.
He's going. I mean, it was selfless to take care of Carl and Lori
Yeah.
before,
What about the first scene when Rick is shot and Shane's standing over his body crying, going, no, we gotta get some help, look up. And there's been several scenes where he's been a good friend.
Yeah, right.
But he's the actor, John Bernthal, has said that Shane is the one character who's like not clinging to the past right now. As far as pre-apocalypse, he says he's more of this world, so he's dealing with what's going on, making tough decisions. That's how he's playing it, anyways.
Right.
And he really was more solid in this episode where Rick was kind of falling apart.
Totally.
Yeah, just 'cause it's a shot.
Computer.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's your turn.
Are you sure?
No, it's my turn. Sorry. Number 2, Andrea's zombie encounter was amazing. Especially I thought it was brilliantly executed.
Yeah, I agree completely. In fact, that was that whole little montage, that whole segment. That's my number one.
I mean, I loved it because I've had something like that happen where you're walking along next to somebody and you think it's somebody, and then you look over and realize it's somebody else, maybe a stranger.
Absolutely,
I went to Marine World one time. I remember there was this guy, I think he was paid or something, and he was going around kind of getting between couples and holding the person's hand to see how long he could get away with it. And he get away with it for a really long time until finally the person
God, so creepy.
it was like showing he was funny about it,
Right.
And he'd go like waddle over to somebody that had a kid and hold their hand. So anyway, I just love this because it worked for the audience too. At least it did for me.
Yeah.
You see them all walking one direction,
Yeah.
and she's talking over that direction because she thinks it's one of them, and so did I. So I didn't really notice it was a zombie either until it started making a noise, just like she didn't.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And whoa.
She was really taken by surprise.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
And it was a pretty fast zombie.
Yeah.
And he probably would have gotten her had it not been for
Maggie with her bat
on horseback, which might be the best Zed kill
of the week.
Of the week.
And she had this look on her face that totally could have been out of Evil Dead. In slow motion and everything. And then I liked how at the end the zombie started to get back up again, and Daryl just pops an arrow in his head. Shit.
That's my number one. Maggie on horseback covering
Oh,
Zed.
I was like right behind you.
And there, yeah, well,
Maggie on horseback. That's a little
that's my number one. Maggie on horseback covering Zed, and then Daryl shoots the Zed with a crossbow. Shut up. I went back. I rewound and I watched him crossbow the Zed because it was just.
I just hope they're not making Daryl. I like his character, but I'm a little worried that because he's a fan favorite, they're turning him into like a Fonzie on Happy Days. Fonzie started off really cool, like a James Dean type, and they kind of overdid his character a little bit until
finally
softened him up and
he
everything.
jumped the shark, literally.
Yes, exactly. Don't jump the shark, Daryl. And Daryl, he's like Mr. Positive this episode.
I don't know. He's not positive.
He's like, why are you saying we're not gonna find Sophia? Am I the only one who's ending here? Or something like that?
Yeah,
He's the only one positive in that scene.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so my number one is like I said, the zombies at the theme station. I thought it was great. I love seeing them at night. We don't see them at night that often on the show.
Yeah.
And it worked very well. It was scary. It's always a good sign when Jenny suddenly goes, why watch this again? Why am I watching this? I liked
Love me, honey.
the music exactly. It felt Romero-ish.
Yeah.
I think the music was especially Romero-ish. I actually have a little segment of that. I guess that's not sound, but yeah, I just like the whole scene. It was scary, and I'm glad to see the shows continue to be scary.
Yeah, and it makes sense that zombies. First off, why are zombies in high school? Well, it was a FEMA center. And clearly things got out of hand at the FEMA center.
Yeah,
And
some of
so-
those zombies had FEMA jackets on too.
I know we saw that. There's a military guy there too. I think a military zombie.
Yeah, all types. And I actually liked it when they came out and didn't have the flares to rely on. I agree with you, they should have planned better, but it made for a very tense moment. Like, oh crap, now what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And then you get the classic wall of zombie arms reaching through the grating.
Yeah,
So-
that is your classic zombie over there.
So if not for, it's like so funny. I love the scene. This is the kind of scene that the reason why I watched the show. And so if it wasn't for the scene, I don't think I would have liked the episode as much. I wouldn't have liked it as much. I just thought it was an average episode.
Yeah.
But now that they gave me that scene, that means I can appreciate the lower parts more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I agree. Can I just say my worst thing about the episode?
Yeah.
Not enough
Glenn,
Glenn.
a little more than last time.
Barely.
Yeah,
At first I
line.
was like, where is he? Right? I think when they showed the scenes in the forest, they were just like people were standing in front of him. Like, okay, this is look at Glenn.
Jeez. Well, they sent him off to the farm, remember, with T-Dog?
Right.
So I think he'll go there and meet Maggie and everything next episode, I bet you.
Do you think they sent him off with T-Dog? Or do you think now that T-Dog has his antibiotics, he'll
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I think they were sending him off with Carol.
Okay, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I think they were-
But I think he'll have a bigger presence next episode.
Yes,
I
please.
think.
Just saying.
I hope they deal with Sophia soon. I'm tired of her being lost. So I want.
Could you have another episode?
I liked when Rick who came out of the house all haggard and then he wiped Carl's blood all over his
Yeah,
forehead.
we got a little something there.
Yeah,
Let
that's a nice touch.
me get that fake blood off you.
T-Dog is Theodore Douglas. We find out. I don't know if you already knew that.
Oh yeah, Theodore. Right, he said it. That's cute, Theodore. That's an adorable name. It is.
And I like this scene where he was like looking for antibiotics and you see him fumbling with the box frantically and it turns out it's cigarettes.
Right. Or yeah, that was I think the same car where we looked in the back and there was
Yeah.
a baby splatter in the back. Oh,
Yeah,
sad.
this whole time like we had Nico on Jenny's lap. He was asleep.
Oh.
We kept looking at Nico whenever there were Carl scenes. Going, I hope you never get attacked by zombies or anything.
Yeah, no,
It's so
no,
sad.
You know what he looked like.
And I thought even with Carl close to death, I still feel sometimes like the raw emotion in the show is a bit much, a little overplayed.
Yeah, exactly.
So emotive sometimes.
Right.
So anybody says I don't ever criticize. There you go. I have one more thing too. In these first few episodes, when they're outdoors, they have this sound that keeps playing, and it's very spooky and moody. But I don't know what it's supposed to represent. If it's actually supposed to be something, or if it's just for effect. But here it is. Some kind of insecty thing. Did you?
Oh, it's a cicada maybe.
Is that what it goes?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I'm
Cicadas?
pretty sure it's a cicada. Gracie, you're a Georgia girl. Can you tell us
Yeah.
that's a
Do you
cicada in
hear
here?
all the time when you go outside?
Oh, and she says she missed it.
Oh, yeah. If you pay attention,
And
you
then
can
let's
miss
know
it.
if it's
Okay, I got a listener top 5.
Let's do it.
Ready for that
Let's do
one?
it.
Okay, this is from Marcus. He says, number 5, fantastic performances. Actors did great work. The best was Carl. It was hard to watch him crying and scene with the bullet fragment being removed.
Yeah.
Otis was a close second.
Yeah.
Actor seemed genuinely remorseful.
Yeah,
Actor shooting Carl,
sure.
totally. Number 4, Merle's stash. Crystal meth, ecstasy, and antibiotics. There's no clap. Very funny. And didn't notice the meth was blue. Maybe Merle got it from Walter White. It could be. He was on vacation in New Mexico.
Or they've been distributing it wider and
Yeah,
wider
that's right.
also.
Number 3, cardio. I felt sorry for Otis when he was running from the walkers at the end, and I saw there were a few continuity errors in the chase. The walkers would be right on top of him in one scene and farther away in the next. But I can forgive it. I bet it's hard to choreograph a chase scene with skinny people running after a large actor. The scene was still tense and fun to watch. Me and my friend Rich filmed a chase scene. Have I shown you that?
Yes, it's great.
And I wasn't fat, but I was slow. So he was like catching up to me, and then the next 50 people farther back. I didn't notice that, and I don't want to go back and watch it again and notice that it was that there were errors.
Yeah.
Number 2, Maggie playing polo with a walker. And the fellow horse got a little payback for the poor Atlanta horse. Number 1, the return of Lori I love to hate. She was a bored housewife who pushed her husband's buttons on purpose. She put down Herschel while the man is fighting to save her son's life. I started liking her when she stood up for Rick in the premiere, but Lori is a psycho, and I'm happy about it. Yeah, I hate Lori again.
It was a little much when she was going after Herschel. He's a vet, sure, but it's the
Yeah.
same. And by the
She's
way,
aggro.
did Jenny say that if that she would be okay with a vet operating on Nico?
No, but I'm sure we take what we
You
get.
know what? If I have a vet, I'd be totally
Yeah,
fine with
I mean,
it.
it's like, no, just let him die. Don't do that.
Right. Cows have 4 stomachs and humans have 1. But that's like basic knowledge. I think it'd be fine.
I mean, I think the vet is 1,000 times more qualified to do that than I would be.
Just have a lot of choice.
Okay,
Right.
ready to move on
Yep.
to Listener Runs Runs.
You need to add Sammy Tallies.
Oh, yeah. And
Nice.
This is from Jesse. I love your podcast. Next one. I always look forward to your next one. I need to mention how so little has been said about Daryl's SS logo on his bike. There's lots of love going to him for how much of a badass he is. Yeah, he's a tough ass, but he's a blatant racist. In his comments to Glenn and now with his SS thing on his bike. Yeah, he saved T-Dog, but it can be argued that he only did that for himself. The more people you have, the more it increases your own chances of living. Daryl is looking out for himself. Big surprise for a racist, huh?
Okay. Can we pause
Yeah,
a second?
go ahead.
It's Merle's bike.
All right. Is that true?
Well, remember he pulled the stash of stuff from
Oh, that's
Merle's
right,
He's
that's
like,
right.
and they're like,
Yeah,
what do you do to this morning? I don't want to go with Merle's stuff.
Yeah,
It's Merle's bike.
yeah.
And Merle's like,
I'm sure
Merle's
if Jesse heard that, if he realized it was Merle's bike, it would change his whole opinion. Because I really don't agree with that. I think he saved T-Dog's life more than once. Now he's giving him antibiotics and
Quality stuff,
And when he says those like little barbs and things, it's like he doesn't say it in a way that seems like he's really disparaging the person. I mean, he obviously has respect for Glenn.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Also, Norman Reedus in an interview, he says, I tried early on not to make him a copy of Merle. You know, Merle has all these racist swears and he takes drugs and all that stuff. And I really wanted to make Daryl more of an Al-Anon member than an Alcoholics Anonymous member. He's a victim of having a big brother like that.
Yeah.
So I really don't think they're trying to paint Daryl out as being racist. Although he might want to scrub that SS sign off of Merle's life.
Good idea. It's a super
So
good
we'll see.
idea.
I mean, judgment reserved, but so far in his character, I've only seen him being helpful and kind.
Yeah, agreed.
Jesse goes on. Also, Lori's little speech to the group defending Rick was a total comic book scene. The whole comic book is Rick's decisions and actions being questioned by the group. This scene was a very well done scene that I think had been missing thus far. I'm glad they decided to add it. And I think they did a great job of depicting it. I agree. I totally appreciate that scene.
Yeah, we both really like it.
So you're half right.
But you're all awesome,
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yeah, thanks, right.
This next one comes from Marcus. It's back and the premiere was awesome. Every single person I've talked to loved the show. I have heard some people pick on a few plot holes, but everybody liked it.
Karen.
I agree with you guys. This was the best episode of the series. One thing I saw on the show that gave me a laugh, the CJ quote from Dawn of the Dead 2004. On the wall inside RV was a sign that said, "How about a nice cup? Shut the heck up." It took me about half an hour to figure out where I heard that. I laughed so hard and I remembered CJ. Wow, nice.
remember that.
Oh, Marcus, that's fabulous. He goes on to say, by the way, one of the plot holes my friends picked at was the church bells. They wondered why zombies didn't come running to church bells. I just figured zombies ignored church bells. Like we all ignore church bells. I'm interested in your take.
What do you think?
I never ignored church bells. I always stop for a second and go, "Oh yeah, church bells." Thanks.
But why did
Don't-
zombies come swarming on the church?
They don't. The same reason we don't storm churches when we hear church bells.
It's not in their muscle memory.
It's not in their muscle memory. They probably stop and say, "Oh, church bells," but they probably don't think that it's a call to. I don't know.
I think it's a giant plot hole. Oh, but no, that's right. If these church bells are automated,
Yeah.
then they know by now that it doesn't mean anything.
So they did check it out.
Yes.
And they're like,
boring.
"Rah."
Which means there's nobody here.
Except for the dumb ones that got stuck
Actually,
inside
it does
the
make sense if it was automated.
Yeah.
Because I think
It was
wasn't it?
automated.
Yeah, so it does make sense. Yeah, that was a
Except
plot
for the ones that were stuck inside the pews. Bored.
Those are the ones that have the muscle memory of church. churchness,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, George Pelham.
This one is from Gracie Lou. Was that Walt's blue meth in bottom of Merle's bag that Daryl got out? Yes, it was.
Yes. This one's from G. This email is more for Karen. Sorry, Jason. I know you mentioned the Run for Your Lives Zombie 5K in an early podcast. Yes, I did. I ran the race on Saturday, October 22nd, and just wanted to let you know how much fun it is. Oh, it's so good to hear. They had some kinks, but all in all, it was so much fun to run with zombies. To run from zombies. I'm not sure if you heard, but we'll be in San Diego, LA area, October 20th next year. I am going for sure. Check it out at runforyourlives.com. It was amazing how perfect strangers would band together to help each other get past the zombies. Everyone I ran with was great. I did learn that I must get in better shape if I want to survive the real apocalypse. I did survive the race, so one flag left at the end. Woo! There were a few people with helmet chest cams that video took the whole event, and here is one of the videos.
I'll post it on the site.
And he says, "Keep up the great show. Really enjoyed listening. Thank you, Jeannie. That is great. I cannot wait. I'm so doing it next October. That's awesome.
John says that's for sure not the Jamie I know his brother. Who I take it as an runner.
But could maybe be a zombie.
That's right. Okay, next. Hey, Jason, Karen, you inspired me to write the first haiku of my life. This morning it was 34 degrees in Wisconsin and it got me dreaming about the Caribbean. I realized that when the zombie apocalypse eventually happens, northern climes will become vacation hotspots and everybody when zombies are frozen in place. He says, reggae zombie fiends, unbred heads walking around in Jamaica, mom.
Oh, it's very reggae.
He says, still trying to listen to all past episodes of Recast. I'm up to episode 23. My one runner is happy because she's getting extra walking time for me as I have so many podcasts to listen to. Take a look here.
Thanks for writing, Peter.
Doesn't it remind me that I walk with mom listening to podcasts a lot, and I wonder if you guys do too. In fact, I wonder if you're actually walking around right now as you listen to this. And if you are, I challenge you to please raise one shoulder, tilt your head a little to the side, drag one foot behind you, and snarl at anyone who passes by. Ready, go.
Go.
At least drag a foot, come on.
Please.
Please.
And let us know
A little
what
snarl.
you think.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take a little break.
Groovy.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, let's move on to the news about The Walking Dead.
Save?
First, yeah, I did.
Okay, sorry.
First item is Breaking Bad. If you're not quite caught up with Breaking Bad, you get a cool surprise at the end of the fourth season. Let's just say Greg Nicotero had something to do with it and needed that. Have you seen it?
No, not yet.
Where are you?
I'm at the season finale of season 3.
Okay. Zombieland. There was talk of a sequel to Zombieland. Did you know that?
No.
There was, and now it's been canceled.
Well, I'm simultaneously stoked and disappointed.
Well, the reason why it's canceled is because writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick are now working on a half-hour Zombieland sitcom.
Really?
They're the ones who wrote the first movie, which originally was intended to be the pilot of the TV show, which is why they had
kidding.
Zombie Killed Week.
Wow.
So,
It makes sense. I can see it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I hope they do it as good or nearly as good as the movie. If it's anything like that, I'm there.
Wow. The movie was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that before going in that it was intended to be a TV show, and the writers say they've been working on story ideas for a show for years now. It's being fast-tracked for a fall 2012 release on Fox. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hope it's
Not
good. Ratings. Last Sunday's premiere had the biggest ever ratings for the show with 7.3 million total viewers.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
more and more popular.
That's huge.
It's AMC's best numbers ever, tripling what Mad Men usually pulls in. So it's breaking records.
Wow. And Batman has a lot more sex. Fewer zombies.
That's true. That should be a clue to the Mad Men
Just saying.
writers. Zombie special effects guru Greg Nicotero said to WhatOnTV.com, I went to the Golden Globes when Walking Dead was nominated, and 3 of the actresses from Mad Men came over and said, we want to be zombies. And I'm looking at Christina Hendricks and going, no, God, how are we going to do this? So I just introduced them to Norman Reedus to distract them from the idea. Here's Norman Reedus.
Wow. Oh, she'd be an awesome zombie.
I'd be too distracted.
Would you?
Totally. He says, while the idea of playing the walker might appeal to some people, it really is not that glamorous. The idea of being zombies is great, but then you come down and you sit in a makeup chair and it's hot and it's sweaty. I want to be hot and sweaty.
I don't think the idea is that it's going to be pretty. I think the idea is it's going to be really, really, really
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, you're enough influence.
Yeah, we still want to be zombies. Just saying.
Now that Frank Daramont's not with Walking Dead anymore, his friend Stephen King is not going to write an episode.
Oh, Stephen King said it so.
I don't blame him. He's his compadre, you know. Solidarity.
Whatever. You can still come back anytime soon.
That's true. I'm sure they would let you
Yes,
do it.
yes.
So Robert Kirkman, wondering whether the show will stay as good as the first couple of episodes. At New York Comic Con, Kirkman said, I've seen 10 episodes of the second season and it's going to blow you guys away.
Oh, good.
The production values are top notch and there's all kinds of crazy stuff you wouldn't expect to see on television. That's good.
Are you feeling now more and more like your fears or they weren't?
Unfounded.
Yeah.
Not until we get maybe to 4, episode
Yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah, then I will. If they're still as good, I'll be so stoked.
Me too.
Yeah. There's a couple more items here. Let's see. Okay. Norman Reedus. In an interview, Norman Reedus revealed some things that we'll see coming up with Daryl. There's some minor spoilers here, you guys, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers at all, this is the last item, so just go ahead and skip ahead to the next section. He says, quote, some things will be revealed about Daryl's childhood that are really depressing. They'll make you understand why he sticks by Merle and why he needs him. You'll see some reasons why he's so connected to Merle and why he had emotional bonds with certain people, and it's not what you think. I think he was molested, and they're going to pull up a zombie and say, show me on the zombie where Merle touched him. Reedus also hinted at some really touching scenes involving his character and the survivors. That's that scene. And he says, I think what's happening is that the group is showing that they value and rely on him too. Blah, 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 blah. So, anyway. Okay, let's move on to comic talk.
Okay, let's do it.
This also has spoilers. If you haven't read the comic and you don't want to hear potential plot elements coming up, you should definitely not listen to this.
But you should anyway.
Definitely not.
Or listen.
Or do. But no. So how is it the same?
Well, the same part is that just like in the comic, they find Herschel's farm.
Yeah, and because I think they had to go there because Carl got shot.
Carl got shot, and that's all the same. But a couple things that are different is that Carl's injuries in the comic weren't
that bad,
no,
right?
they weren't
Yeah.
got shot, but after he found
He
Herschel, Herschel was able to fix him pretty.
Did Herschel fix him? I should have went back and looked.
Yeah,
He did, okay.
yeah.
But I don't think he was a veterinarian in the...
Yeah, I think they
I
said
don't
it was
remember
better,
that, yeah. But yeah.
But they're much worse in this, and he needs a transfusion. He in the comic book didn't give him a transfusion, and also he needs all these complicated supplies, which drives the whole plot of going to high school.
They're going to spend a lot more time on the farm because I think it's most of the season they're going to be on the farm.
Oh wow, they didn't spend that much time on the farm in the comic.
I don't think so.
That's interesting. And they didn't go to high school now.
No, and Shane was dead by this point. So.
He sure was.
And Otis, I think, was Otis kind of a jerk in the comic, or a creepy guy, maybe?
Yeah, they're making him pretty nice, and he's trying to make amends for shooting.
And he was skinny too.
Yeah.
TV Otis is fat.
Right.
Herschel says his wife and stepson got killed, and he's also this episode arguing about whether there's a cure. So we know where all that leads.
We sure
to the barn.
do.
We haven't seen.
And Rick's saying, "Oh, you guys didn't get any fallout from this whole zombie thing. We had a little fallout.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Just give it some time.
They're fine
You're scratching.
here.
What's that? That's nothing.
Nothing.
Herschel's daughters, there's Maggie and there's a couple of blondes, but I didn't see any. I think he had young twins in the comic.
Yeah.
Who later come to a gruesome end.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, this is a spoiler. Let's skip ahead to the next.
Sorry. There is a call that has to do with this. Here, I'm going to play now. Ready?
So regarding Rick talking on the walkie-talkie to Morgan and may or may not even still alive, Nancy read the book. You know something when they're talking to a little subdivision, he keeps talking into the phone to spoiler that Lori long after she's dead. And Carl busts in and he acts like, oh no, it's like she's just imagining everything's okay. But he clearly is like talking into it. So maybe speaking of Rick Brown's descent into Mad Max 4, it's just so we know what's going on. That's all. Thanks.
I just wanted to play that call because I liked it. But it could very well be. That's also a spoiler for you, isn't it?
I skip ahead. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I thought about that too, and I don't know if it's related, but it could be.
Wow, you've given him. I'm gonna.
We're doing all the gas.
We are.
I gave you all the issues. No, I understand. You don't know.
I have a big, by the way, I have a big Walking Dead comic compendium,
Oh, you do?
and it weighs
you do?
about 200 pounds.
How'd you get that? You bought
David
it?
ordered
Oh,
it.
nice.
Mhm.
That's 48 issues.
Yeah, it's about 200 pounds. I can barely move it. Yeah, I've seen it on the table. Seriously.
And we also got an email that's related to comic stuff, so I saved it for the section. It's from Jesse. Well, this is the last part of Jesse's email. He said, you mentioned how people aren't crazy about Andrea, and I can totally see that now that I think about her character solely in the TV show. We know how awesome Andrea is in the books, but as someone who hasn't read them, I can totally get that viewpoint, which raises an interesting point. People who are going into this TV show blind are going to get a whole new and different experience, something worth keeping in mind as we watch. So totally, and even this issue, episode 2 is even more annoying.
Yeah.
When Dale asked her what happened, and she gave him a dirty look. Yeah. Yeah. Leave me alone. I guess, yeah, she didn't.
She had a bad day. Come on, Andrew, don't get it.
Okay, that's it. Let's move on to next week on Walking Dead.
It's real short. We don't know. We do not right now. I don't want to be.
It's always going to be short, by the way.
It's always going to be short. Okay, good. Next one is entitled "Save the Last One." What do they could be referring to? And the description is: the group desperately awaits Shane's return. Shane finds himself trapped in a school surrounded by undead. Daryl and Andrea search for someone in the woods, and they say someone. I'm like,
Isn't it Sophia? And don't we already know Shane's trapped?
Yes. So
But unless it's someone other than
they
Sophia.
could have just said more of the same.
Yeah, exactly. See last week's description.
It's written by Scott Grimble and directed by Phil Abraham.
Oh, Grace says that Herschel was a vet assistant in the comic book.
Okay, a vet assistant. That'd be
Even better.
Very confusing.
I noticed in IMDb that Sophia's listed again, but she also was last time, and she wasn't actually in it, right? So.
I was kind of surprised that they found her before.
And, yeah, me too.
They might still.
And Ernest R. Dickerson directed the first 3 episodes. He's also directed a bunch of shows, but The Wire, he did episodes of The Wire, and some other Dexter. So he's really good, and I'm happy with his directing on these. I mean, if one reason why it's scary is because Ernest R. Dickerson is directing,
Yep.
and he's awesome. Okay, let's move on to contest stuff. So no more entries for the Guess What Jenner Said Smart Pen contest, but we don't know what Jenner said yet, so we can't give away the Smart Pen. But here, I meant to play this last time, but here is Rick talking about this in episode 1 of the season.
The CDC was a dead end. I met a man there, a scientist. He told me something. He told me it doesn't matter.
People are really being harsh about the monologues too.
Yeah,
That
okay.
his accent suddenly got a little thicker.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, somebody did correctly say that what Jenner said was, "It doesn't matter."
Oh, did somebody write that in?
Yeah.
Jenner said it doesn't matter. Oh, I guess you win Smart Pen. I'm gonna have to tell you something. It just doesn't matter. That's
Oh,
good.
thanks. Very zen of you, Dr. Jenner.
Okay, now let's do the trade paperback. This is our long-running haiku trade paperback contest. We have another winner this week.
Yeah.
It is Kimberly. She wrote, "Creeping down the street, I'm such a hungry zombie. Brains, yum, still hungry." And so congratulations, Kimberly. I have an email, so I'll send you a reminder in case you don't hear this. But send me your contact info and I'll send it out to you.
Do zombies ever get sated?
You know what? I think we've heard in the Kirkman universe that if they've just eaten, they might ignore you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are there fat zombies? Like, do zombies gain weight if they got a lot of juicy brain sliders?
I would think not because their bodies don't properly process the food.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, we've seen fat zombies in zombie movies, but they might be new zombies.
Do zombies poop?
Well, I don't know if they process the food, so if they don't have a stomach, then it just comes out.
Can you edit that out?
No. No, that's good quality content. So we have one more trade paperback to give away, and then this contest will finally be over. Yay! Save this contest. So if you, but I'm not going to give this one away unless I get a really fantastic haiku, and I'm going to throw in a season 1 DVD to sweeten the deal.
Can I
so you can enter. Can't wait. So send me your haikus by next week. We already have enough reviews. By the way, we're up to 101 ratings on iTunes. We've gotten a bunch in the last couple weeks, and I'm really grateful to you guys. Thanks a lot. That helps us get these interviews that we're going to get. So appreciate
guys.
it.
Yeah.
If you haven't rated us yet, as we always appreciate
We
it.
parlay reviews into interviews.
Okay, that's it. You want to close it out?
Yes, I
Do you want
music.
music or no music?
Music.
Okay, that's our show, episode 44. Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
I want to give out special thanks today to listener Caleb Stoddard, who sent us a drawing that he did of us as zombies.
I thought it was just of us, period.
No, we were zombies, and he patiently sketched us as we tried to use brains.
That's not easy.
But thanks, it's totally awesome. He did that a while back, but I just never got around to throwing those up on our about page, and I'll put them on today's episode post too, so you guys can see. Really cool. Thanks again.
Striking like us.
It's true. Yeah, it's obviously us. Only for you. What else? I guess that's it.
That's it,
If you'd like to give us a call, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdead.com.
You can check out our website and leave comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
And we actually are on there now.
Oh, here we are. It's so fun. It's fun content up left and right.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to-
Hi, I'm Rick Beck, and I'm Royce Yudkov. Welcome to our chart-topping podcast from the Harvard Business School, Think Big, Buy Small. This series lets you in on a special way to become an entrepreneur, how to buy your own business, be your own boss, and get the financial benefits of your efforts. Entrepreneurship through acquisition involves searching for an existing, enduringly profitable, smaller business and buying it, usually from a retiring founder. Back for a brand new season, our conversations are with guests from all backgrounds and different stages of the entrepreneurship through acquisition journey. From those considering whether this path is right for them, all the way through to those who have sold the business they bought as searchers and then ran as CEOs. Thousands of smaller firms are sold every year, and many people successfully acquire an existing business that is enduringly profitable. So why not you too? We've been helping students understand